All right, folks. Tonight we're going to take a look at the IS6. This is a tank that has been in World of Tanks for a long time. It's often considered OP. And it's a funny reason why, but it is... There's Mater. In some ways, it is a little bit overpowered. And here's why. Okay, so if you look at the armor, it's 100, 160. That doesn't sound like much, especially on Tier 8. But because of the angling, it's a pretty difficult tank to penetrate. It does have its weak spots, for sure, but a lot of people struggle, and especially if you keep this thing in motion, people are going to have a hard time penetrating this tank. Now, one of the things that makes the IS6 a little bit different is that this is the first tank that I've run across in the game. Now, granted, I don't have a KV-4 or an ST-1, that I feel like it is a true brawler. It does not have decent... So as I was saying, it is a true brawler. And that is to say that you get close with this tank. It works best in close quarters. Most tanks don't. When I first came through this game, I thought, oh, the IS-3 was going to be the brawler. And the IS-3 is not bad in a brawling situation. But the IS-6 really shines when you put it in people's faces. And, you know, even on the sides and the back, it's pretty strong. And so people can jump around you and try to get to your back, but they're still going to have somewhat of a difficult time penetrating your tank because of the angled armor. And that just makes it a fun tank to play. Another great thing about the IS6 is that it has preferential matchmaking. So it only sees tiers 8 and 9. The downsides, well, first of all, the gun is, well... Without using gold ammo, it's a little bit inadequate for tier 8. But you know what? I do okay with it. I'm not too concerned about it. And I find that most of the time I have a pretty good game with the tank, and I do a lot of damage. But at 175, it's pretty low when you compare the other heavies. If you need to penetrate a tank that you're going up against, there is always the nuclear option. I mean, we do have 8 rounds of ACPR loaded. You can load as much as you want. However, be aware that the tank does not have a huge capacity for ammo. So I've got 20 regular rounds, 2 HE rounds, and 8 ACPR. So you're not going to be firing a ton of shots with this tank. You're going to run out of ammo. So just beware if you're into shooting regular ammo. And for the most part, I don't use the ACPR, or APCR, sorry. But occasionally I do. I would say the other weakness of this tank, well... it's got a lot of weak spots, but most people don't know them. So obviously the bottom plate is kind of weak. A big weak spot is this hatch right under the turret there. You can see this driver's hatch. That is a huge weak spot. And then also up on top here, the hatch where you go into the tank here, this frontal hatch, this is a weak spot. And both of these little hatches are weak spot. Now you can see here, it's got a pretty low profile, but I had one battle where I ran into another IS6. He did not know these weak spots up here on top, and I did. And he was right in my face, and I penetrated him every single time by firing right up in this area. So you will overmatch this armor, and for the most part, you can do it pretty easily if he's sitting still. Now, obviously, if you come across an IS6 and he's like this, your best chance of penetrating is along the side of the turret. From the back, obviously, once again, the turret. And also the back of the tank, though I've bounced a lot of shots off this back area. One of the things that makes this tank a little bit harder to side scrape is that you have this plate here, okay? So those angled plates, though they do help you in combat, they can also pose a problem. If somebody's above you a little bit and looking down at you, this quarter panel here on the side and the one on this side, these angled plates, actually become flat surfaces where people can shoot you. So angling this tank is a little bit more difficult. You're going to want to be moving, and it's kind of like an IS-3, I guess, in playstyle. You're going to want to keep the thing wiggling, and you're going to want to keep it in their faces and just get right in there and be aggressive. So you don't want to give them an opportunity to aim their shots. You want them to be having to wiggle around and try to keep up and use your armor. I will say, out of all the tanks that I've played, and I've got the Super Pershing, I've got the new, thanks to Wallace. Actually, Wallace bought me this tank. So this episode is brought to you by Dog Fangs. And he also got me the T-54 Mod 1. I would say the T-54 Mod 1 is the only other tank that I've played where I bounce shots all the time. This tank is notoriously good at bouncing shots. You will take penetrations, but you will also bounce a lot. And I've had battles where I've bounced 2, 3, 4,000 damage, and it's a pretty funny thing when it happens, and it happens most of the time. So it is kind of a brutish tank. Now, that being said, I feel like it's hard to carry in this tank. I don't, because of, you know, a little bit slower mobility, the fact that the gun is going to bounce some shots itself. You're going to miss and bounce some shots with your gun because of the penetration. It's not so easy unless you're tier 8 to really carry a game, and you're going to see that reflected in my statistics. Now, over the last 1,000 games, I've been playing at 58%. I've got this tank during those last 1,000 games. I've played 61 games in it, and I'm carrying a 51% win rate with it. So it's 6% below what my normal average is, though there's lots of tanks that are even lower, like look at my Fury at 39%. We won't go there. But it does not carry the way I'd like it to. But still, you know what? 51% for a premium tank is not a bad win rate. And you can see here, this is where it counts. I'm making 856 experience a battle on average. That's really good. So my damage ratio is not so great. My destruction ratio, 1.83. This is the ratio of enemy vehicles destroyed. So I'm destroying almost 2 tanks to my 1 death per battle. That's not bad. Here's where the tank is great. Average damage, 1,600 per battle. That's pretty good for a premium tank. And my average damage received is 1,300, which is a death. Because the tank has 1,300, it's 1,327. Enemy vehicles destroyed, about 1.2 per battle. Not great, but it's good. And you know what? When you're looking at premium vehicles, you have to understand, and people get this wrong, these tanks, and they're kind of changing this now that we're at patch 9.8. Some of the new premium tanks that have come out have been better or as good as the same tanks on their tier. These older premium tanks were designed to be less able to perform than a fully upgraded tank. So, for example, the IS3 fully upgraded has much better penetration. It has a little bit better mobility, and it has about the same armor, though the armor's not as good. But the IS6, which is one of the most powerful premiums that you used to be able to buy, is just barely below the IS3 in performance. But in general, usually they're way below. This tank, I have found, is definitely worthwhile. If you've got 4,000 or 5,000 games under your belt, and you're getting up to tier 8, and you've got a couple tier 8 tanks, and you're comfortable playing on tier 8, this is a great first big premium. I would suggest for newer players to go with the lower tier premium tanks so that they get used to playing the game. But if you're somebody that has some salt behind you, I would recommend this above any of the other premium tanks that are out there. This is fun to play. It's got great armor once again, and it's a great premium tank. And they just the new ones that are coming out are this much fun. But until those new ones came out, there were not any other premium tanks that were fun to play like this one, except for maybe the Type 59 before they nerfed it. So the IS6 is a very unique tank in the fact that it's been good since the beginning, and that is something that hasn't been in this game ever, except for this tank. So I know there's going to be some people that disagree with me on that, but I feel like this is definitely the best of the tier 8 premium heavies, for sure. And it's one of the best premium tanks in the game. Now, on the downside, once again, because of the cost of the ammo, it's a big round, you're going to spend about $1,200 every time you fire the gun. So that means that you will not make as much money with this tank in general than you will with, let's say, like a Super Pershing or the Jag Tiger 88 or the Panther 88, the CDC. Those tanks will all average more income than this tank will. But this is a great tank. It's a lot of fun, and it's a very enjoyable tank to play. So let's look at some of the stats, and then we'll go ahead and play it. Now, it feels like it has the same gun as the IS1, IS2. And if we look at the IS2, this is the premium tank from Mr. Mean. He has a 122mm D25T. This is the same gun that is also on the regular Soviet IS. It's got a 4.88 second rate of fire, 175 pen, 390 damage. Let's take a look at the IS6's gun. It's got a slightly higher rate of fire at 513. Everything else is very similar. Now, we'll go through the bottom stats too, but I want to show you the 175 and 390 are the same. The gold penetration is the same, and the HE is the same. However, they consider this a 122 millimeter D30, so it's a slightly different gun. Now, on the IS, once again, we have a dispersion of 4.6, 3.4 aim time, 2590 weight. On the IS6, 4.6, 3.4, 2590. So it is the D25T. They just changed the name. And maybe because of the faster rate of fire, but I think that would have more to do with the crew having a better loading system in the tank than the IS does, because it's a newer tank. I don't know, but to me it seems like it's the exact same gun. So really, you're looking at the same gun that the IS has, the IS-2 has, the SU-122-44. It's the same gun that can go on the SU-152. It's a very popular Russian gun. It's the gun, well, it's not quite the same as the one that used to be on the old IS, or the old KV-1S, back before they changed it. So, but very similar. 1550 hit points, 700 horsepower engine, top speed of 35 kilometers per hour, with an okay traverse of 26. For a heavy tank, that's not bad. And I have clutch braking, and I also have smooth ride. So I think it's smooth ride, or whichever one is the, yeah, smooth ride, so you can fire on the move a little bit better. I will also be adding the reduced resistance, so the tank does better on all surfaces. But you have 100 armor front, 100 armor sides, 60 on the back. 150 on the turret on the front, so you got a good strong turret, but once again, you got these weak spots here. 150 on the sides. Most tanks can penetrate it from the side because it's flat. And 100 on the back. And honestly, if you're coming up on the side, I would aim in this area. Try to get through this part. I shouldn't be telling you this because I'm talking about the tank. Turret traverse of 24, not so great. We already looked at the 175 penetration and about 390 damage per hit. Good rate of fire at 5.13. It's not, super fast, but you're reloading every 9 to 10 seconds, depending on your crew. And okay view range of 350. Okay signal range of 440. Those aren't great, but they're whatever. I mean, it's a heavy tank. You're hopefully staying close to your guys. It does mount a vertical stabilizer, which is cool. It also, I've used the gun rammer, and I use the ventilation to help my crew get better. I have an okay crew in here tonight. This is not my best crew, but I'm training these guys to move over into my IS-8 when I buy it. I'm going to wait for the IS-8 to go on sale, and then I'm going to buy it. So there we go. I think that's pretty much it for the garage portion of the review. Let's go ahead and take this guy out on the battlefield. So in this game right now, my biggest fear, let's see, the artillery definitely. The Luva can penetrate this tank pretty easily. The Tiger II, if he's got the best gun, he's going to have an easy time. Those ISs are going to be fun to play with because they won't be able to penetrate very easily. But yeah, so really the biggest concerns that I have, and we'll see how that pans out, but they have 3 artillery. You will notice the matchmaking once again. It's got premium matchmaking. Hang on, I got to turn the volume down. You are going to see a lot of top-tier matches. So be ready, because some of the weight of the game is going to rest on your shoulders with this tank. That's true of any of those premium matchmaking tanks. You are going to carry the weight more often. So, people think of it as great, but actually it means there's a little more stress on your end because, well, you're carrying. And you better do a good job. Now, this guy's faster than I am. I wonder if he's using the fuel or if he has the ground resistance perk. But he's definitely moving faster than I am. Nope. That's all right. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but not sure what they're thinking either. Here comes the artillery. Somehow we got their artillery. Let's see. Why is this 3601 in the water? Nope. There's the Bulldog. So we are going to have artillery coming down on our heads. unfortunately, and they're probably going to be our destruction, though maybe not. We'll see. The good news is I think we got up here before they did, but here we go. Let's get this potty started. And here's one of those things with this gun, you do have to aim all the way. If you're going to rush it like that, you're probably going to miss. Got to move. The artillery is going to come down. Boink. And I should have had myself angled a little better. This will make it a little better. Yep, can't get him yet. Gun depression is not one of the strengths of this tank for sure, but I want to try to get this going here a little bit better. We got these guys. What on earth? Why is this scout sitting still? Maybe I can get a shot off on this dude. There we go. That'll keep him moving. Whoops. I didn't see that going on. Well, that took too long. That was... Yep, I lost my loader. So I gotta hurry this up, and we've lost this position. So, and here's where the carry harder goes. I should have stayed with those guys, and instead I made a mistake and ended up making it a lot easier for them to kill that guy, unfortunately, and I couldn't get back in time. So sorry about that, evil, whatever your name is.
Enemy armor is damaged. We've torched them.
I don't know where these other guys went, but... The artillery is going to be raining down on me any second now, so I need to keep moving. Thankfully, I didn't lose my driver. This guy is coming right in.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Yeah, and you're going to see that with this tank for sure. So, what a bunch of baloney. I'm going to die. Yep, so your armor doesn't save you all the time, and these guys were good and working together and didn't have a lot of help from our team, though, you know, like I said, I didn't help our guy much either, though I don't know if there was a lot I could have done with, maybe got 1 or 2 shots off, so. But there's where the underperforming comes in. I just got killed by 2 tier 7 tanks, so if they can get around you, and he didn't have any issues penetrating me whatsoever, so you got to wonder, you're probably getting gold ammo shot at you, which is very common too, and that negates the great armor. So you run into players that are going to wing gold at you, you're probably going to get penetrated. So I'm not saying that that's what he was doing, but that does happen. So, and our team pulled it together, so we win anyway. Game over. So you can see I am premium. Even with my stellar playing, I still managed to pull home $41,000. Would have been $21,000 non-premium. So not a great game on my part, but not bad. But you can see how much it cost to run this tank. There we go. $58,000 was my take home, or my net. My gross. But the net was $41,000, so it cost me almost, what is that? Almost $20,000, about $17,000 to run that battle. It's expensive. The ammo is expensive in this tank, so it's not a great moneymaker, but it is fun. All right, next battle. Well, seems like the gold flingers are abounding tonight, and that is probably because it's getting close to the weekend, and it's also... I just froze. Okay, there we go. That was weird. But it makes it harder in this tank for sure. There's 2 things that this tank has a hard time with. First of all, because you're always top tier, artillery is going to take a fond interest in you, and you're not very fast moving, so I don't want to. I'm not in the mood to.
Time to roll out.
Why would a Type 64 want to platoon with me? That makes no sense. I'm having some lag issues today. Weird. Probably on the Eastern. Well, no, it's got to be the Eastern server because look at my pings are like in the 30s. If I was on the Western server, it'd be the hundreds. Yeah, the dynamic platoon thing is getting old real fast. Oh, good. Now he's filled up. So my goal here is to kind of block this in and that guy's high up somewhere. So we're going to come down here. There's way too many guys up on the other side. Let's see what I can do here. Usually there's someone right in that bush, and I whiffed. Can't even hit a bush. So let's see what's happening over here. T-32 is pushing up. We got the Panzer M10. Oh, and I walked right into that one. Surprisingly, he's just going to sit there and let me wail on him. So that must mean somebody else is coming. Or he's a bot. Yeah, you can see there, that tier 7, there's no way that guy's going to penetrate me. Terrible playing. Wow. And the last shot, of course. He's finally backing out, realizing he's about to die. He's made a nice flat angle for me to hit. And let's see, what do we got going on here? Let's see if I can help these fellas out over this way. Cromwell B is backing out. This T-32 has pushed too hard. Oh. Not going to make it up that hill. And unfortunately, once again, you know, it's a pretty slow tank, so it's not going to get around super fast. And that's... I hate to put that FCM behind me. In fact, he's probably looking at me, so I'm gonna wait for a minute. But I want to start moving my way up here. Yeah, see? And he's got 200 plus pens. So if anybody can penetrate me, it's this guy. So far, it's going okay. It's not a great game so far, but... And as soon as I move, here he comes. That was luck. That was not skill. I'm moving myself up into a position where I can hit him better. Keeping my front to him because those other guys aren't even looking at me. So if I can get behind this rock, now I can focus on that IS-2. I think I'm safe from that dude. And I whiffed again. Got to get better positioning here. Yep, and you can see here, even with my back, as long as I got a little bit of angling going on, I'm doing okay. I want to get where those guys can't hit me. That'll put the fear of God into them. And I'm going to get my front angled now towards these guys. Yep, kind of a low roll. He's going to move in. He can't do anything. So I'm just going to turn this way and pop. Really? Really? Critical hit. Okay. Whatever.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And And this IS2 has pushed through and killed our CDC, so I'm going to have to go help these dudes. Oh, the CDC got him. Amazing. A teammate that actually did something. Crommy B. I got to get safe. This is a really bad... And I'm getting hit from two sides. You can see here, though, these smaller tanks, they're not going to be able to penetrate my tank. They're going to have a very difficult time. So, CDC, I'll let you deal with that Cromwell. Hopefully you'll be able to do it. The Cromwell could kill the CDC, but I think the CDC has the hull down gun dang pression. And the FCM is still up here. Try to get some hits on this dude if I can. And he's still behind the rocks. I'm trying to get where I can get him without getting hit myself from these guys. It's kind of a tall order, though. Okay, I'm going to push up. I probably should take care of that FCM, but it's going to be a long time until I get into a position where I can actually hurt that dude. So we're just going to push it up. Watch this Cromwell. Yep. Dag nabbit. And he's going to go cap. Stupid CDC. The Cromwell probably is going to go cap, though we have a T-69 in the area, so hopefully that guy will be smart enough to push back. And I'm just going to go to cap at this point. There's not a whole lot I can do. Speed-wise, I will not be able to get back in time to stop that Cromwell. He's got about double the speed on me. But you can just see from this battle, and this is what I was talking about, when you get into a nice top-tier battle where, you know, you're going against a lot of 6s and 7s, they're not going to be able to penetrate this tank, and you're going to bounce shots like crazy, and that's where this thing is fun. Now, Tier 9 battles, it's a little different story, or all Tier 8 battles, you are going to struggle a little bit, especially if there's artillery. The artillery is just nasty. But I want to get the cap started in case the Cromwell decides he's going to cap. And that AT-15A is probably going to come up from the backside here. So we're just going to cap it and get it over with. He comes up at all. He probably will not be able to make it here in time, though. So, whoops. Awesome. Much better game. And it all looks great, right? Except for, got to remember, we're premium. So let's look at the actual. And once again, I'm using my better crew. I switched from the OK crew to the good crew. This is the crew that's going to go into the IS-8. And they have, as you can see here, triple perks. So things like intuition. They know which round to load in emergency situations. And I can switch them faster. Safe stowage and repairs. This guy's got the clutch braking, the off-road driving at 100%. And that off-road driving allows you more speed. So that's really important for this tank. And also the clutch braking, obviously, and the smooth ride allows you to fire while moving a little better, though since 9.8, it doesn't help much. Snapshot, deadeye, designated target. Those are all things that will help your gun be more effective when it hits, catch things on fire. And last but not least, recon, he sees farther. Mentor, he helps everybody do better. And situational awareness, spreads your signal. So yeah, this crew's a lot better than the other crew that I was running in the first battle you watched. But you can see here, even at 81,000, I didn't die, and actually I didn't take too much damage. Still, you know, almost $12,000 in ammo right there. So it's expensive to run this tank. If that was not premium, that would have only been $40,000, and I had a pretty good battle. You can see here that I blocked 1,820 damage with my tank. And did 2,109 damage, so 90 damage, sorry. Not a bad game. Now, I was not the top scorer on the team, but we were all within a couple hundred of each other, so it's pretty good. Now, here's a battle where artillery obviously is going to be a huge problem for me. Thankfully, we started on the side where I can go south around the bend, and that will help me avoid artillery a little bit. But if I were to go anywhere else, I'd be in big trouble. Also, this is a very typical Tier 9 tiering for this tank. So you get 2 or 3 Tier 9 tanks and then a lot of Tier 8s.
Let's get this show on the road.
I did run into a tortoise last night, and he had a black prince that was escorting him, and oh man, they ripped me to shreds. It was a bad battle last night. No Top Gun yet in this tank, and I don't have my M badge either, so when I get those battles, I will post them. Hopefully not all the heavies will go this way, but it would be nice if that E75 came this way. And we may get overrun. Sometimes that happens fast. Help. IS3 wants help. That's where I'm going. And I'm going to use this little rock to protect my hatchy hatch. And I'm going to take some... Uh-oh. Getting myself in trouble here. And I'm going to run into the IS3s. Got a lot of heavies coming up. And I'm going to try to see if I can hit that Tiger too. Probably not going to be able to damage him. He's in the... I can't even hit him. And that's where this gun comes in. You cannot take snapshots like that. You really have to... You really have to work and the snapshot just does not work with these tanks. You have to aim. These guys pop out. Saw somebody pop out and disappear. Nope. And no gun depression either. Once again, I wanted to make sure that that was mentioned. I think I mentioned that in one of the battles, but there's not a lot of gun depression in this tank. So you're just going to have to get used to that. These guys keep disappearing. Nope. And I'm going to wait till I reload. Boy, this guy's just going to sit out here.
That one didn't go through.
Hopefully some of our guys have chosen to go around. Yeah, they have. And the Luva's also side scraping, so he's got it pretty good. And we're just not going to pen that tank. I mean, there's just no way I'm going to pen him side scrape, but we're keeping him busy. I'm absorbing shots for our team. I'm going to try to hit his little commander's hatch if I can. Probably not going to happen, but let's see. Nice luck shot on the Tiger's part. And I'm just going to sit here, saving my repair kit for a little bit later, in case I need it.
Let's go.
Come on, come on, come on, aim up, I'm up. And there we go, penetration of the game. He got stuck and obviously was able to take advantage of his hull being above the border line. I hate to put my side out like that, but man, I'm just going to wait. Alright, so I'm going to try to help with this KV. KV-4 is probably a bad tank for me to push against, but I'm going to try to go around here. These guys hopefully will be able to take care of the situation, and I can't do much just sitting there. So the Carnarvon I can hit. The IS-4, the KV-4 is going to be a little bit of a taller order. This T-29 is being silly, but now we have a KV-4 too. Try to get into a position here where I cannot be hit easily. Try to even up the guns. The Carnarvon, I think I can do some damage to here if I can.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Nope, not on the front. Nice. Gonna play with this dude. He's got a good hard front. KV4 has a good hard front. The KV4 is just hiding at this point. Okay, these guys are gonna push up. So I'm gonna go with them. We gotta push up together. Stick together, boys. So I'm going to switch over to gold at this point because I will not penetrate that KV. We have to take this Carnarvon. We have to take one of these guys down, and there's even with the gold. Dang. That's gold ammo right there, folks. Not penetrating the bottom of the Carnarvon. And so I'm just going to switch back because there's no point in... Oh. Fortunately, the AMX 5100 has a nice rate of fire there. He's being smart and staying low, but he is now surrounded, and we've got them. So I'm going to head back to base because... But as you can see here, even in this... Oh! The artillery takes a nice big hit. Nice chunk out of the... Oh, the Lorraine, the BCC is going to go for cap, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to head back to base because obviously these guys are going to try to cap. Or at least cause mayhem of some sort or other. Let's see where this BCC goes. I'm going to go up here. And the BCC is now too late to cap. No, he's not. Great, they're going to leave me alone to deal with him. And that guy's got that rate of fire. Oh, he's probably clipping right now and loading gold. Watch me bounce off him. Okay, Super Pershing went back to base. I did not call that one. I thought he would push on and try to cap. So, it's interesting on his part. I thought he would definitely come to our base. Oh, the bad chat went after our artillery. How do you like that? Nice. I'm not going to hit him on the run, but I might hit him here. Nope, he went over. And the FV got him. Assistance to allies, great. I got the spotting damage for that. That was awesome. All right. Well, now we might have... I think too many guys came back, but... Wow. Super Pershing destroyed the ass... There we go. I'm expecting the Lorraine to come this way. Looked like he was heading to go up and over, so... Might as well just wait for him. And then after this battle, we'll do one more. Oh, no, there he is. He didn't get as far as he wanted to get. I think he probably was thinking about heading this way, but then started taking shots. So... The question is, where's that M12? Cap and get this thing over with. Now we want to draw it out. We are capping. We're going to do both. We're going to cap and we're going to get this thing over with. No cap. No cap. Cap, no cap. So where do you think he's going to come? I think he's going to come... Do you think he'll come in tight? He'll probably go out into the woods here. See if he can hide.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Goodbye. 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 All right. See ya. Well, I didn't get a Pajousis, but... Okay, so another victory. I got a 3 shots bounced from the Carnarvon, 1 from the IS-3, and 1 from the Luva. I did take some damage in that battle, but let's go ahead and look at the team score. I'm sure I would not be at the top. Yeah, because I didn't do that much. I only did 870 damage. Mostly, I was there to absorb damage, and once again, over 1,000 damage blocked. I did have, well, let's see. I fired 13 shots with 3 penetrations. And that was a couple gold rounds, too. So I didn't make much money on this battle because I did fire gold. And those are 4,000, 5,000 a pop. As you can imagine, that is not the best way to do it. So anyway, I think that gives you a good idea. Now, I was playing during the weekday. It's about 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. When I played last night, I just got crushed. I couldn't do anything. I played 6 games and won 1. In fact, I think that's the one that I showed you at the beginning of this video. I had 5 other games where I literally just got smashed in 2 minutes. The artillery had me zeroed in the whole time. Black Chicken and I were playing together. Usually that helps, but so this tank is really good when you have an average team that you're going up against. If you have a team of, you know, late-nighter clan mates that are all out together flinging gold and there's a bunch of artillery out, you're not going to have a great experience in this tank. I just want to point that out before we do our last battle. However, when you're having an average weekday, like let's say it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's, you know, like the clan members and stuff are at dinner, the gold flingers aren't in the server at the time. You can see from these last 2 battles, and these are 2 in a row, I just had a great time. I bounced a lot of shots. People aren't flinging gold right now. They're not playing competitively, so you have a much better chance of survival. So this tank does have a weak spot, and that is if you're going to fling gold at it, it will get penetrated, and that's true of any tank. I mean, really, the gold ammo kind of negates armor. I'm not complaining about gold ammo. Please don't get me wrong. There's those people that really like it. There's those people that really hate it. To me, I run a couple of rounds of gold because I think that you need it sometimes. And in real life, they would have, in IRL, they would have armor piercing, they would have HE, and they would have APCR in their loadout. So that's not unrealistic for a tank to have those kind of things in its inventory, and so I run them, and if I need them, I use them. There's no reason not to use it, but I do understand, you know, it does get a little irritating when you get clanmates that get free gold and they go out there and they just, that's all they do is shoot gold. But whatever, it's a game and you can run it however you want. So if you want to load gold and win, well, it does work. A lot of times the gold ammo does, as you guys saw with my what was it, the VK3002D. I was running it with the short 88 gun and running gold in it so that I had 175, 178 pen, and I started winning like crazy in that tank when I started doing that because I could actually penetrate stuff and fire every 6 seconds. So gold does help the situation, and the same thing for this tank. You know, conversely, if I just run an all gold loadout in this tank, I'm going to do a lot better than I do probably normally, but I don't mind because I don't want to spend. I'm here to make money with this tank. I'm not here to spend money for it. And some people don't care, and they got the money already, and so they're just going to run gold anyway. But my point is, in general, what you saw there in the first battle is what happens when you have clanmates out there and you're just going to get ripped to shreds. What happened in the second and third battles are what you see on a normal weekday when you have just average people playing and they're not flinging gold and there's not like this clan mentality out there going on. So it's 2 different tanks at 2 different times. Plus, my crew makes a difference. And this is one of, you know, I want to say this about all the premium tanks so that you guys are paying attention. All premium tanks require decent crews, okay? If you put a crappy crew, even though the KV-220 is like one of the most buff tanks in the game, and I have an excellent time playing my KV-220, if I don't have a good crew in this tank, it sucks. But when I put this crew in my KV-220 tank, I have amazing battles and I almost always win because these guys help to perform a lot better. So like any premium tank, the IS6 is no exception. It is very crew dependent, and the better your crew, the better the tank's going to perform. And that's true across the board in World of Tanks, but it's especially sorry, it's especially noticeable. That's what I'm trying to say. In the IS6 and these other premium tanks. So let's go ahead and run one more battle, and then we will come out for the closer, and off we go. And of course, Sacred Valley, the map that you love to hate. And once again, we have the odd matchmaking. So you can see here there's 3 tier 9s, which if I run into that VK4502, I am skunked. In fact, I'm going to stay, I think, on the left. I'm not going to go up the main alley. I'm going to try to fight from the side. They have a mutant. Really? They have a mutant? Where?
Move out.
I don't see the mutant. Oh, it's on our team. A62E1. That's such a weird tank. Now, none of my YouTube friends that I've seen have one of those. If you've got one, let me know. I would love to feature it in a review or in a Let's Play if you guys have one. So any of my viewers that are willing to let me log into your account and run the tank for a video, I would love to get a video clip of the Super Mutant, because that's a tank you almost never see. I mean,
Enemy armor is damaged.
some of these others, like the 2J and stuff like that, you see him here and there. But that one you never see, and he's probably still reloading, so, oh, poor fella.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Uh-oh. Panther 2 rushing in, M103 up there. Oh, wait, the 4502's on our team. Durr! IS3. Yeah, I knew he was going to hit me, but at least I got a hit on him. I don't know why I thought the 4502 was on their team. Oh, stupid Arthur. I'm really alone here, though. That IS3 is freaking me out, because... Where did he hit me? Now, the IS3 has the ability to penetrate, and he hit me right in the hatch. They have the ability to penetrate me without bothering to use gold. He does not have to use gold to penetrate this tank. We are going to lose this battle. I can tell already. Too many heavies went south. They're going to overrun our guys. So, unless they're really... Well, the T-44's got him behind him, so maybe not. Dang, stupid scout. What were you doing? Dang it. Now you put me in a bad position. Stupid scout. Well, I don't move as fast as you. He's going to be mad at me. IS3's killing everybody. Scooch in here. IS3's gone back around. I don't think this Panther knows I'm here. There's no point even shooting at the 131. I'll never hit him. IS3's going up. Panther 2's going up. And now he's going to go up and smoke. I'm getting fired at. I need to get to cover. I'm going to try to draw these guys back if I can. This is bad. T-25-2. I'm in his range. He shouldn't be able to penetrate me from that distance. There you go. So, as you can see, he's bouncing. RH got a nice hit. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Oh, man. This is... Wow. This could go either way. Dang it. Oh, trying to come to help. This IS6 doesn't know I'm here, I don't think. Yeah, he's looking the other way. He's about to get a bullet in the back of the head. Yep. And I'm going to back out. T-49 should be able to get a hit on him. Waffentrager, what were you thinking? And we're going to go for the hood if I can. It's good, he kept moving. Good player. Wow. It's still really close. We could lose this. How's that Luva holding up? He's got 2 tanks. I'm going to go this way. If they push through, they're going to need help on this side. So this is where decision making is important. They've got a lot of medium tanks left. Our guys are pretty beat up. No rushing. My wife is contacting me. Oh. And they killed the Luva, of course, because these guys are rushing. They're rushing it. WZ-120. Nice shot. Wow. I have a feeling it's going to come down to the VK and I. I'll try to get this guy blocked in. Yeah, and he's faster than I am, so I'm gonna be in trouble, but thanks.
Penetration.
Goodbye.
That one didn't
Oh,
go through.
is she kidding? 38 health? Where's this KV-13? He's hiding somewhere. I want my mission. So, the IS6 even blocks team damage. As you can see there, though, the WZ-120 has higher penetration. He didn't have any trouble going through my armor there, and he was on the run, so... Oh, I want to kill this guy. There we go.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Yeah. All right, so you saw there, you know... yeah, and I've made almost... Well... Let's see here. 76, 46, 81. That's it. So 3 battles. Minus probably a good 50. but about 150,000, somewhere around there, 130,000 credits in 3 battles. It's not bad money making, and got to do 2,400 damage in that battle. 880 experience. Our T-54 still did better, but he's tier 9, so he should. And I got 62,000 bring home. That's still a good battle, you know. And so I feel like this tank, what you just saw there is normally what I experience. What happened to me last night, and like I said, you didn't see that portion of it, was me getting totally decimated every single battle. That's rare that happens, and it was surprising to me that I had a night like that, because I almost never have nights like that in the IS6. They're almost always good battles, but for whatever reason last night there was a lot of craziness going on. So anyway, the IS6 is a very strong tank, and if we're gonna take a look at the, I only blocked 240 in this one, but I did more damage, so that was more of an aggressor battle for me. But it's a good tank. It's not super mobile, but it's decently mobile. And it is, like I said, it's a good brawler. It is a good tank to get in people's faces. It really wants to, you know, fight. And that is awesome for this kind of tank, because when you have a platform like this, which I absolutely love the IS2, but unless you're in groups, this tank is really hard to brawl with because it is kind of soft all over. The IS6 gives you the same play style, but allows you to actually have effective armor. And so I think that this is a great tank. Definitely worth the $50 or $54 or whatever they charge for it now. But you're not going to be disappointed with this tank. However, once again, I would suggest that you have at least 5,000 under your belt before you go out and buy a tier 8 premium tank. Just, they are a little bit harder to play, you know. And if you struggle with the regular tanks that when they're upgraded, you're definitely going to struggle with this one, and you're not going to like it. So I'm just trying to make a suggestion, but you do what you want. You know, it's your money. But the IS6 is definitely a thorn in the enemy team's side, and it does get really good preferential matchmaking, and I love it. I'm very, very happy with this tank. It's one of my favorite tanks now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Be sure to subscribe. We got a lot more to do. We're still going to do a review of the CDC. I also have a review of the new Type 54 or T-54 first prototype, which is another great premium tank. I know a lot of you guys don't like it, but I love mine, and I've been having a great time with it. So we got a lot of reviews coming here in the next couple months. Also be sure to, you know, stay tuned for the World of Warships reviews. I still have to do the Gremyashki and the Sims. and maybe some of the ships that are in-game, though it's not really worth reviewing the in-game ships yet because they're probably still going to change. But I hope you guys found this useful, and have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. I think I said that already, but sayonara.